Hello and welcome to this week's coffee vlog. It's Friday the 25th of May, heading home at 5:45. A bit delayed leaving work. Just what you want on a Friday late afternoon when you're about to leave for a long bank holiday weekend away from work, to be told the warehouse toilet system's decided to spring a leak. Marvellous. So I had to start digging about isolating that, which was a bit of a problem because there was no isolator for it, so I had to detach the main water into it, then fit an isolator onto that to stop it taking water in and then leaking for the weekend. So I'm now going to replace the system on that at some point when I feel so like it, or get someone in to do it. We do have a load of other decorating and stuff to do about the building to make it a bit nicer, so I'm gonna have to try and work on that now. Marvellous. Just realised I've not actually emailed myself Mr. Nels's words of wisdom. That's going to be a problem because I wasn't actually planning on doing a stop and start. Mercedes just sneaking in front of me. So yes, this week has been, I don't know, it's been alright. It's been a bit of an oddball week, to be honest. Things going on. Weather's turned decidedly chilly now, but we have had some lovely sunny weather. But yeah, it's gone a bit rubbish, to say the least. Pardon me. So yeah, last weekend, what did we get up to? Saturday, don't know, we didn't do a lot Saturday, I don't think. Was the weather alright? Yeah. Let's think. Trying to remember. Make the old brain cells work. I think on the Saturday, I had quite a late night Friday night, actually, for some reason. But I didn't really do a lot. I was just messing about. I don't even know if I did anything constructed on Steemit or went on any, didn't even go on any shows or anything, but yeah, so Friday night I messed about on Steemit, that was about it. Saturday, had a bit of a chilled out day, played out with the boy in the back garden a bit, and spent a bit of time with him on some games and bits and pieces, and watching him on some gaming as well. He's been back building up his Fortnite experience, although it does get quite frustrated by it. And so yeah, that was pretty much my Saturday. Actually, it was quite chilled out, didn't do a huge amount. Sunday I managed to sneak in a bit of a vlog post, and bit is the word, it wasn't particularly exciting at all. There's a van trying to get past me. I don't know if he's going to do it or not. No, he's going to sneak in. I'm going to have to speed up, otherwise he won't get in. They're all loons. So I did the vlog, but it was a bit, just not got the time at the moment to put that many posts into the sort of curation thing. In fact, I've not had that much time on Steemit as I have been before for a while, and I don't really know why in some ways, but I just haven't. So did that, went to my dad's Sunday afternoon, did a bit of painting, and then took some photos on the way home to do a Sublime Sunday from, which was okay-ish, it wasn't great. And that was that. Back to work on Monday. And like I say, it's been steady away. We've had a couple of roast days. Tuesday I had a guy come over to look at the 1 kilo roaster, so did some roasting on that one. But bit of a disaster. I'd just done one roast on the 5 kilo while the 1 kilo was warming up. The 1 kilo being electric, takes it forever to heat up. but it's also high wattage. It's like 5.5 kilowatts, so it uses a lot of power. And just dropped a roast out to cool. I was waiting for it, the 5 kilo to roast warm up, and the 1 kilo was just warming up, but it got up to a good 160, I think. And all the power went off in the roasting room, completely off, which is not good at all for the roasters, because obviously the drum, if it's not turning, then it can warp because of the heat just in one place on it, so it doesn't do the drum any good at all. So really you want to have them turning all the time, and then when you finish roasting, I'll leave mine on until they reach ambient again before I actually stop the drums turning, so there's no heat there, but I'll let them cool down with the drums turning still, so that you don't damage the drum at all. So yeah, it was a bit of a disaster. All the power went off. I checked my consumer unit that I've got in the roasting room, and that hadn't tripped at all. So I went back to where the power feeds from, which is in an old porcelain fuse box, sort of in a different area. So I pulled the porcelain fuse, which was extremely hot, out of there, and sure enough, that one, the fuse wire had blown in it, and that's why all the power had gone off. So I was like, oh great. So I knew the one next to it was for the new 3-phase grinder we had fitted in that room, and I wasn't using that anyway, so I whipped the fuse out from one of the phases for that, and plugged that into the roasting room. Of course, because I'd left everything on, it meant as I was plugging it in, the power starts surging towards everything that I'd left on, and it went all sparky at me as well, which is not a great experience when you're up a ladder in a fuse box. So yeah, that was a bit of a hairy moment, but I got it in anyway. Got everything back up and running, and we carried on roasting then. So anyway, investigating later the problem, it turns out the fuse wire for the fuse that was running the whole of that roasting room was only a 15 amp fuse wire, 13 amp fuse, but it only got 15 amp fuse wire in it. Which I hadn't noticed when the power had got put in. So realistically, the 1 kilo electric is probably about 15 amps on its own, let alone the fact I've got the 5 kilo roaster, which doesn't use a lot of power, but it's still using power. Then I've got an extraction fan, then I've got a router and whatever else running. So all those things running together, yeah, basically just too much load for that fuse wire, and it popped. So at least now I put some nice thick 30 amp in, so I'm well covered, so I won't have that issue again, which is good. It's not great, because the thing is, if I'd been in the middle of roasting coffee when it happened, that would have been a bigger issue, because of course the coffee would have then burnt in the drum, because it's not being turned, so it's just sat in the hot position at the bottom, and there's no airflow or anything, so it just kind of just set on fire and smoked everywhere, and so there was a bit of good fortune in that it just went after I'd dropped out a load of roasted. I hadn't put any more in yet, but there you are, you live and learn. So, and it was entertaining for the guy I'd got visiting to look at the 1 kilo as well, to find this sudden, oh, it's all gone a bit wrong. So that was that. Thursday I had to do some more roasting as well. I had quite a lot of roasting to do this week, funnily enough. I got some more of the Thailand Doi Chang Estate green coffee in. So I've actually got a customer now in Osset, which is a Thai restaurant, and they're wanting to use only authentic Thai products for everything they can there. So they wanted Thai coffee to do their coffees for the restaurant. So that's quite good if they're going to continue using us for that, bit of extra business. Yeah, that's about it. Like I say, just been a lot of sort of running around catching up with bits and pieces this week and getting orders in for stock and keeping stock going out and everything else. But now we've got a long weekend because it's the bank holiday weekend, so we have Monday off again. I was going to nip to Square Chapel tonight to do the well, not to do, we delivered some stock earlier this week and had mentioned to the delivery guy when he dropped it off that they had, the decaf wasn't right, but I think they're using some stock that they changed to something else from, but someone's found some old stock or something. So I was going to take them something fresh down, but Richard Nellis reminded me that the big singer is on at the Peace Hall, so there's a load of school kids singing in the Peace Hall tonight. So I thought, I don't really want to get stuck if it's real hectic there. So I've got the coffee with me, but I might just pop in over the weekend at some point if I get a chance. See what happens. Come on, Nissan. We've been sat forever and a day. Now that Renault should go, then he can go, and hopefully then I can go. All in order. So that, I think, is about as exciting as things have been for me, to be honest. Not too exciting at all. Did a couple of posts on Steemit, of course. What did I do, actually? I've done one on, oh, My Happy Place for Robert Andrew, at Robert Andrew, yes. Did that one. And obviously the Sublime Sunday in the one. Did I do anything else? I can't remember if I did anything earlier in the week now or not. My brain's getting completely befuddled with things. I'm getting old, obviously. This is a very sedate pace. I thought it was going to be a short vlog, but it could be an extremely long one at this rate. Everyone trundling along. It's a bit murky, isn't it? It's not like all the beautiful sunshine we've been having. Although I was getting a bit too over hot with stuff, really. So it's almost a relief to have some decently rubbish weather. Some good old British rain, that's what we need. Let's get around here. So, Mr. Nellis, your words of wisdom, bit of a problem. Because I've not sent myself them, and I'm not sure how I'm just going to get them, because I don't know, Richard. So the big sing anyway is on at the Peace Hall, which is a load of school kids singing, and that's on tonight, I think. Now busy, schools are out, so good news for me, because it means I'm going to have a nice quiet drive to work for the next few weeks. I think there's 2 weeks off my boys got, plus I can also get an extra hour sleeping, so I don't have to be waking them up on the morning, so that's a bit of a bonus. Oh, what we're digging up here now. So yes, that is it. Bob Bell, sorry, the first thing I'm going to do when I get in now is watch your vlog from Sunday. Cars everywhere and people and bikes and oh, it's just shocking, isn't it? So yeah, I don't know how I've managed to not watch it. I just haven't. I've just been doing many other things. So, but the house on the end there had all its windows put through the other day. A big black transit van apparently turned up on the street about 1 PM in the afternoon. Don't know what that was. Something rubbishy. Yeah, a big black transit van turned up, and a load of blokes got out and started smashing the windows on the house. So yes, that's a bit of a funny thing, isn't it? And apparently the people that were renting it have now disappeared, so I can't actually see what it was I went over. There didn't seem to be anything on the street there, but something made a funny noise anyway. Oh well, quite bizarre. So I'm afraid, Mr. Nellis, unless I come up with some amazing solution to do your words of wisdom tonight, then no words of wisdom this week, because I forgot to email myself them, because I had a crisis with a toilet that put me off. You know, I was all getting ready for me closing down work scenario on a Friday afternoon, and it's all put out when the warehouse man comes rushing in and goes, "Ooh, the toilet's leaking, it's flooding everywhere." And I'm, God, never drama. Always drama somewhere or other, isn't there? So, okay, have a good weekend. Next week, I'm having a long weekend because it's bank holiday, and I'll catch you in next week's coffee vlog, where I'll probably not prepare again as usual and waffle on about nothing of interest. Okay, see ya.